Hey everybody, sorry for that issue there. Had a little bit of a tech problem trying to figure out how to get these questions to come up. Live, all right. All right, now hopefully this is working. Okay. Hey Brian, thanks for joining. Okay, so if anyone has any questions for me, I'm Phil Laboon. I've started several companies, ranging mostly internet marketing based. So we're going to do a little Q&A here if I can help anybody out with how to start a business, anything entrepreneur related. Yeah, I'm here to help, so just ask me your questions. All right, looks like we're slowly getting some stragglers in here. So, yeah, so I guess to start off, does anyone have any questions, comments, concerns? All right, a little bit of background on myself. Internet marketing now for 16 years. Started my first company in 2001. It was organic SEO back in the heyday. Now more involved in the growth hacking perspective. I don't really do much in the SEO world. I still have some clients on retainer, but I mostly prefer working with performance-based marketing, which is basically only getting paid on results and leads that I generate. And working in some kind of partnership model. These range from Fortune 500 clients all the way down to startup products that are kind of hip or cool that I really like. So Vincent, to kind of start with your question, is growth hacking real? 100%, it's real. It's always been around, just there wasn't really a name for it in the past. So I was doing growth hacking strategies back in the day with Craigslist back in 2001, 2002. My growth hack back then was lead gen for real estate. I had a brokerage down in Orlando, Florida. And what we would do is we'd post different deals and offers on Craigslist in all the different cities. Basically what you could buy, discount houses, or something called pre-construction that was really hot at the time. So to get around the IP spoofing, we actually used hundreds of computers with dial-up modems and net zero, and it would call all these dial-ups and use a different IP address, and we could basically post. And it was basically giving free advice and free information on pre-construction real estate investing. Most people now would consider that an awesome growth hack, but it's really just, a creative way to try to generate business. So Daisy, what skills should you look at for an in-house internet marketer? I would say somebody who did it before. People always try to play the cheapest way possible to get the internet marketing done, and you're going to get what you pay for. And ads are not cheap. So if you get an internet marketer who's never built a company, has never done anything entrepreneurial in their life, what do you think they're going to be able to do for you? Maybe you'll be able to find that gem out there. It's someone who's super smart and super intelligent who loves making other people money, but I think those have come pretty few and far between. So I look for someone who wants to be on board, who's going to treat your brand like their own, and hopefully has some kind of stake in it. I always try to do performance-based. Even with my people, I try to give them rewards based upon sales. Even account managers, if they keep people on board, I like to reward them. So I think performance is the way to go, whether you're the marketing company trying to do performance or if you're looking for employees with affiliates. So how do I feel about Facebook Live and how can it be used to enhance a brand or influencer? Well, social media basically just breaks down the walls where now people really want to understand the ideologies behind a business. They want to understand what the company represents and even what their political views are. And I think by doing Facebook Live is a great way for you to show what you're up to, what your brand believes in. It makes people feel more comfortable with the company and whoever you're going to use to represent. So the other cool thing with Facebook Live is you're also seeing that everyone gets notified, which is kind of cool. So if you're going to do a post, it notifies every single person. That'll probably go away at some point, but I'm sure Facebook's just doing it to try to chip away some market share from Snapchat. let's see what else we got here. All right. Okay, so Michael, I'm self-taught in SEO and internet marketing. How should I gain experience in the field? Start your own brands, man. Go on Alibaba Express, take your own product so you don't have to do all the logistics and manufacturing and inventory. It's a huge mess when you're starting to create tons and tons of products. When you're actually manufacturing yourself and handling your own logistics, it's a huge pain. So the way that I would start off is build a quick little Shopify site. Start a Facebook campaign, do some Google AdWords, try some different growth hacking strategies. I've written a lot of different articles on different strategies that I would throw out there, but start your own brand and you're going to learn and learn and learn. And the first company probably won't be successful, but the second one, you're going to be this much farther and this much farther. So I've had so many companies, maybe a 20% success rate, but you only need one or two to hit and it's extremely profitable. So the best way to start is to just dive in and realize all the things you don't know with trying to build a company from day one, from scratch. Ooh, so okay. What's my favorite social media platform that is effective for branding? Still a huge Facebook fan. I think Instagram's great if you're going to get into the whole influencer route, which is something that honestly I'm pretty novice in, but I know a lot of people doing very, very, very well in the influencer world. So basically paying people for shout outs or 24-hour posts. But I personally am a big fan of Facebook because they give you so much data that you can constantly retarget and build audiences and build networks and test different things. There's just a million little dials. Once you dial it in, you can crank the big dial, which is ad spend, and turn, if you're making $1,000 a day, see if you can make 5,000 a day, 10,000 a day, 15. And once you kind of cap out, depending on your audience and the demos, then you move on and you create a secondary ad and you keep that other ad campaign going. So, whoa, got a lot of things coming in here. Woo, okay. Snapchat or IG Live, what are the pros and cons for a content creator? I'm not a huge Snapchat guy either. I know it's hot right now, but I honestly can't really find a way to generate revenue from it because I don't deal in the influencer network. I think, again, if you dive into influencers, that's the Snapchat, Instagram world. Facebook, what's nice about it is it's a much bigger audience and everybody's on it. You kind of have business professionals and CEOs. You have older people on it because they want to see what their kids are up to, their grandkids. So while I think Facebook is just much more established right now with older populations, for me, it seems the way to go compared to Instagram and Snapchat. But I see a lot of people making money on Instagram and Snapchat, so I can't really knock that hustle too much. So, Daisy, what are some productivity hacks? Well, one thing is my Panda journal here. Basically, it helps me set up just different events and different times, and I can kind of keep track of everything that I need to do. It's a very cool way. I know it's huge, but I take a ton of notes, and I like to doodle throughout the day. So I'm constantly just in here taking notes, making adjustments, going to a future day so I can update and add. But I'm a big fan of having something written, and I basically just carry around. Today it's a matching backpack, but I carry on a backpack with a whole bunch of essentials that has my laptop in it, it has my camera, it has my Osmo, and of course my gigantic daily planner, because I don't like those little ones. Okay, who do we got here? What's one growth hack people can take action on immediately? I'm still a huge fan of, I think LinkedIn is a great way for growth hacking. Not a lot of people use it in the way that it should be used. One hack that I really like is called Duck Soup, D-U-X, Soup, S-O-U-P. It's these two guys from the Netherlands. I am not affiliated with them in any way, but I really like this little Chrome app that they have, which basically allows you to hit up a whole bunch of 800 people a day on LinkedIn, and you can actually put in your job description a title. So I think mine is, hey, the reason I'm visiting your profile is because someone recommended I hit it for performance marketing, and then I hit 800 people a day. They see that message because I visited their page, and it's just a great passive lead gen for, I think, all said and done between the LinkedIn professional profile and the Duck Soup comes out to be $15 or $75 a month. So that's a growth hack that I would definitely take advantage of. And just so we understand, growth hack isn't like a silver bullet for every industry. You really have to think your members specifically. How can you provide value to that individual, and how can you go at them kind of from an untraditional way, something that people haven't thought of. So it's not just I'm going to buy a Facebook ad. It's how do you present that Facebook ad in a creative way that's going to disrupt the industry a little bit and get you the kind of response that you want. That's more of growth hacking. I think there's a lot of confusion on what that is. So hopefully that answers your question, Vincent. Okay, if you want to be an influencer, how much content do you suggest to be posted weekly, whether on YouTube or Snapchat? How do you utilize hashtags? I think the amount of content is almost trivial. There's some really, really big names that I still see pushing videos out from 2014 on Facebook, where they just shoot these little iPhone videos and they're talking, and you go through the comments, and they actually posted that back in 2014, and they're still using that content. For some reason, it's just hitting people the right way, and so it's generating sales, it's generating business. I am, again, not a huge influencer guy, quote unquote. I am an ad guy. I want to find out how can I spend $1 and how can I make $5, $10, $15 back. So I don't produce, you'll even see on my sites, I really very rarely update or write blog posts because I'm too busy coming up with different ads, different CTAs, different buyers' journeys, different sales funnels for different products. I'm involved in so many different companies and businesses, ranging from real estates to little startups with little e-com products to services to apparel to rental cars to hotels. So my time is mostly spent creating tons of ads, monitoring ads, and developing new strategies to try to get these different entities business, because I make money when they make money. And that's the beauty of performance. When I'm on retainer, I'm not going to spend that much time or energy doing that. Nope, I'm going to use my right hand so it doesn't look like a big finger is going to be poking you guys. The name from the guys from the Netherlands, again, it's Duck Soup, D-U-X, soup. What are some verticals that entrepreneurs can take advantage of right now to make money? Again, I think Alibaba and Facebook are huge right now. I think I'm watching people, young kids that are literally making $40,000, $50,000 a month in college without ever having inventory, without ever having to deal with logistics. They're just crushing it. So some products that I would recommend is apparel. I think is still really huge, especially with t-shirts. You can screen print your own designs. You can come up with a really cool concept or idea with apparel, and they're basically buying the IP. So if you think of a funny little slogan, or you can go more traditional and target to a niche. So maybe you're paying $5 for a t-shirt, but you put your custom design on it. And sell it for $24.99, and you're just paying as they're being produced, and you're having someone else ship it out. I think apparel is a really hot market right now. I would not get involved with electronics. Take it from me. Electronics are not the way to go. You cannot rely on China to do anything when it comes to electronics, and becomes a hassle with lithium batteries and having to get them shipped over. So apparel is probably where I'm really excited for right now. In fact, sorry to leave you guys, but like we do wooden products, right? So we're going to do whole horse lines where we're going to have all these different horse breeds. We have dog lines where we're going to have, you can customize your dog breeds and put them underneath. And there are literally hundreds of these that we're coming up with. My whole floor is completely scattered right now with that. So yeah, you're coming up with a niche vertical, come up with a unique product where you can then target to a niche vertical, and that's, I think, a hot thing right now, especially with Amazon Custom coming out. If you have your own ability to be able to scale and replicate on a customized basis, I think you can kill it right now. So let me see right here. Oh, how did I get my first client? I started my first company at 19 years old, and I was selling websites for $1.99, and then $1.99 for hosting and SEO every month. And I went door to door. I went from selling phone lines for Verizon door to door, commission only. I wore this suit that was like 10 times too big, and I just knocked door to door selling websites and internet marketing, and it was an amazing experience. Taught me how to sell. The company was a complete scam, but it was really cool that I got to learn how to do door-to-door sales. And then from there, it just transpired in me getting involved in tons of different things, from real estate to breathalyzer keychains, neon signs, obviously wooden. There's so many businesses. It would take me 20 minutes to even think of them and say all the names. So that was how I got my start. Ooh, Ash, how do I balance personal and work time? Um, what's personal time? I think that's the question. I'm 35 years old. I'm still hustling and grinding as much as I was when I was 21 years old. I think it's just a matter of DNA. As you know, being in the Young Entrepreneur Council and meeting everybody else, very few of us are lax people. I would say intense is probably the word that describe us. I mean, we are just hustling. It's in our blood. You can't get us in a room without us starting to spout out business ideas and giving advice. And if you want to say with the whole Parveen, I'm activated movement is just people getting super pumped, super excited. And it's in our DNA. We live the life. You either have it or you don't. It's sad to say, but I honestly think that, personal life has to take a back seat until you sell off your business and you kind of want to take a breath. But I don't think I'm there anytime soon. Let's see where we're at here. Ooh, what's the blog, website, or podcast that I keep up with daily? I'm a big Gary Vee fan, but honestly, Reddit is probably my number one, news source right now to just see what's happening. I like that I can read the comments and see kind of other people's takes on it. I don't have a lot of time to research like I used to, where I would kind of look at fake news and see what's happening. So what I like about Reddit is you can look at the comments section and see what people are essentially having a debate about, and I kind of pick what I want to believe. But Reddit for me is a really good source, regardless of the topic, for people to see what's being said and kind of seeing both sides of it. Of course, Lena loves Reddit. Okay, let's see. Where are we at here? Sorry, there's like a lot of questions popping up here, and with my phone, they don't come up on the side. Okay, so I think I'm out of questions. Anyone else have any comments, questions, concerns? I know I threw some ideas out on my wall. Let's see. Ooh. Okay, so any books I'd recommend for growth hacking? Yeah, so John Rowland's Giftology is a really cool book. He probably doesn't consider it growth hacking, but I would definitely consider it growth hacking. The book's called Giftology. The man's name, John Rowland, for those of you who don't know him. Super awesome guy, basically built his company using gifts, not just like baskets or these one-off Christmas gifts, but really coming up with really heartfelt offerings to people to get their business, and he does that for different companies. We've always done it on a lesser scale, just especially with Wooden, creating custom products for people where we'll have a meeting with them, they'll say something looks cool, and next thing you know, we send them a big box of sunglasses, customized with their name, speakers, phone cases. It's just something that doesn't cost a lot of money but makes a huge impact. And it is a growth hack, although it's not some technical piece of software. It's you having to go in and actually think about it, listen to what they're saying, make a mental note, and send something to them. So what are some tools I use for growth hacking? For me, growth hacking is more about the offering, not really some kind of widget or tool. I'm going to try to think of some ones that I'm super excited about lately. As far as technology-wise goes, I guess webinar jams is something that's pretty cool. I know more and more people are using it. So you know what? I'm going to use one a little bit. I'm going to give these guys some love. Shop Yak, I think, is a pretty cool growth hack that's coming out. It's basically just a platform to take some of the best fundamentals. I just posted how much I hate ClickFunnels UI. I think that it's very outdated. I think that they've just been sitting fat and happy, and I'm waiting for someone to come in, so they have to update their user experience. And Shop Yak is trying to do it. This is a brand new company. They just launched Shop YAK. They basically take the simplicity of Instapage with the e-commerce of ClickFunnels and the add-ons of Sam's Cart, and they add them all together, and it's a really cool brand new platform that I'm testing right now, but basically allows you to bang out a whole bunch of templates really, really quickly, and you don't have to deal with all the terrible customer support and BS that you have to deal with ClickFunnels. Okay. So let's get it going. Let's get it going, guys. Any others? Okay, so we got that one already. So anyone have any questions on specific Shopify, e-commerce, performance marketing, anything along those lines that I can help with? And again, remember, growth hacking in general, I think a lot of people think of it like SEO, where it's more structured, where it's link building, it's hashtags, it's meta tags. Growth hacking is basically just being creative with your offerings to try to generate as much revenue as you can with the least amount of work. Testing out as many little things as possible and seeing if there's any legs, if there's a minimal viable product or a minimal viable marketing strategy, and then dumping your money into what actually works. I think there's a lot of confusion on that. Ooh, what are some of the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make? I would say they're not patient. That's probably one of the biggest things I see with entrepreneurs is they're not willing. They think they have an idea. They think they have something that's going to take off, and they don't realize that it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of money in order to do what they need to do. So the entrepreneurs that approach me, they typically have some kind of company they want me to invest in or partner on, and they want to try to make money in the first month, or they want to make money in 2 months. You're going to have to tighten the belt and put in a ton of time and energy, and you're going to risk a lot. You're going to risk your own money. You're going to risk your own time. You're going to risk a huge amount. You're going to have sleepless nights. You're going to have days where you're feeling amazing because you hit a big sales quota or you did something amazing, and then you're going to, I guarantee you, in a day, a week, a month, probably hourly, you're going to hit these dips, as they call it, where you're super excited, but then something goes wrong. And if something's not going wrong, then you're not pushing hard enough. You're not really, if you're pushing for explosive growth and you're trying to really hit some numbers, some big numbers, impressive numbers, you're going to hit a point where things are just gonna fall apart. So make sure you're always pushing yourself to that next level, and understand that that's part of the process. You're going to have good days. You're going to have bad days. I just posted something on someone's wall today about sometimes I feel like Artax from Never-Ending Story when he's in the swamp of sorrows, where you're just like, you just feel so down and nothing's going to get you out of it. And then something happens where it just blows up and you're on cloud nine for at least a few days. So I think understanding that ebb and flow of good and bad is something that a lot of young entrepreneurs just don't kind of take full advantage of. They hit one little dip and they get so down on themselves, but they don't realize they learned a lesson and they're going to come out stronger and stronger. So it's more like a chart that goes like this, opposed to just a curve. Early stage entrepreneurs, only bring in some advice. Only bring in partners if you need to. Partnerships typically end bad from my experience. You can start a company, you can hire a friend, you can give equity, you can pull investors in. Try to keep friends and business separate is always a good rule of thumb. Obviously, there's an exception to every rule, but for the most part, I would try to keep my friends and my business separate. A lot of people bring on partners just because they don't want to do it alone and they're scared, and that ends up biting them in the butt because typically one's going to work a lot harder than the other one. When you get that awesome mesh, it's great. But for the most part, I would tell you, I've seen a lot of friendships and a lot of businesses go under because basically they shouldn't have partnered in the first place. They should have just did some kind of project together. What type of entrepreneurship content could Youngery create to help people you mentor? That's a pretty good question, I guess. The content that I would like to see is kind of step-by-step instructions. There's so many entrepreneurs that want to just sell their courses. They want to sell these high-level marketing plans or marketing strategies, and then what they end up doing is just this, they're trying to sell you on the next thing they already have coming. They're not really giving you actionable advice. They're giving you very high level, not a lot of stuff you can sink your teeth into. I'm very, very cautious to ever invest in any of these courses. I'm not going to name any names, and I'm sure a lot of people know who I'm referring to. But these brands their product is basically this overlapping strategy that doesn't really give a lot of substance, and I think it's just a total waste of time. So if Youngery created step-by-step, almost like Udemy courses, but more high-end, maybe add in an hour consulting, I think that could be extremely helpful to young entrepreneurs, like some kind of mastermind group with a kind of a Udemy theme to it. Hope that helps, Ash. Okay, so any more questions, comments? What are the trends in growth hack marketing that you are seeing? Yeah, so I would say right now the trend is definitely going to influence marketing, which I'm excited to start learning about this year. A lot more people are getting involved with influencers. There's no set way to do it. It's kind of like a closely guarded secret. But the people that are doing it are killing it right now. And it's amazing because they'll look at what I do and they'll say, I can't believe you're doing what you're doing on Facebook without influencers. And I'll take a look at what they do on influencers and go, wow, I can't believe with how bad this is built. Your website's built, your marketing campaigns built, your social funnels. I can't believe you're generating the numbers you can. So there's kind of two sides of the same coin depending on what you want to get into. But I would say social influencing seems to be the big thing. So what are the next steps for Phil Laboon? Man, who knows? Ask me in a week, it'll completely change. I have a big real estate development I'm working on. Obviously, Wooden is taking off very nicely. Landing a lot of big performance contracts with Fortune 500s, which is really cool. So working with really big hotel companies, car rental companies, office supply companies, where basically I'm working and I'm pushing their brand and I'm putting my own ad spend up 6 figures a month in order to basically push out their product and make sales. So if they had a really good growth hacker in-house, they could do it internally and probably save a lot of money. But these bigger companies have this mindset of this old school marketing, and they have investors and they've never really needed growth hacking or social media marketing. So it's always put on the back burner. And now I'm giving them an opportunity to basically have zero risk, but of course they're paying a way higher percent because I'm risking my own money and my own time to build out these campaigns for them. Is Chad still the CEO of Wooden? Yeah. Chad's the COO, CEO, CMO, CWO. I don't even know if that's one. He's over across the other side of the office, so hopefully you can hear that. Yeah, Brian was talking about dealing with failure. Yeah, I mean, Brian and I had a business together in 2005-ish. Shady partner, stole a lot of money, 12 years in lawsuits, still going after this guy. Followed him all the way through bankruptcy with fraud charges. And yeah, it's been crazy. A lot of people would just give up and throw the cards in. I've lost way more than I've won, but that's what being an entrepreneur is all about, being too stubborn to fail or too stupid to fail, depending on how PC you want to get. But you have to fall. I think Philip Oakley posted this, or maybe it was you, Ash. You got to fail 7 times, but get up 8, and that really is the key to success. Is not how many times you fall, but how many times you get back up. Because everybody's going to fall, and some of us are lucky enough not to fall and dial in a little bit earlier than normal than other people, but. For the most part, I think the people that are really successful typically have a lot of failure stories before they make it successful. So, any other questions? I see if I can scroll up here. Yash, Costa Rica is coming soon. We'll be doing 1,000-unit development down there, eco-friendly villages, eco-friendly homes, 100% off-grid. So, yep, thanks for having me, everybody. It was awesome. Stay hungry, everybody. And to every entrepreneur, good luck.